You've heard it a million times, right? Drink 8 glasses of water a day. It's one of those health rules that's just everywhere. But what if I told you it's not quite right? Actually, what if it's completely wrong? Today, we're going to uncover the real science of hydration, and believe me, the truth is going to surprise you. So let's just get right to it. That magic number, 8 glasses, the whole 8 by 8 rule. Is this really some unbreakable law of health we all have to follow? Or is there a bit more to the story? Well, there it is, straight from the experts at Tufts Medicine. The short answer is a flat-out no. But, of course, that simple no just opens up a whole bunch of other questions, starting with the big one. Where in the world did this rule even come from? I mean, it's one of the most persistent health myths out there. So let's do a little detective work and trace this thing back to its source. Okay, so the trail leads all the way back to 1945, to a recommendation from the U.S. Food and Nutrition Board. They suggested that adults need about 2.5 liters of water a day, which, yeah, is pretty close to 8 glasses. But here's the catch. The one crucial sentence that everybody just forgot. The report specifically said that most of this quantity is found in the food we eat. That one little detail got lost over time, and poof, a global health myth was born. The crazy part is, you don't really need to be counting glasses because your body has this incredible, super sophisticated, built-in system for managing hydration all on its own. It's this amazing automatic process that's running 24/7. And right here, this is mission control, the hypothalamus. It's this tiny but unbelievably powerful part of your brain. Think of it like a full-time hydration supervisor that's constantly checking your blood to make sure everything's in perfect balance. So check out how this elegant system works. It all kicks off when your blood gets just a tiny bit more concentrated, like only 1 or 2%. These specialized sensors immediately pick up on it and ping the hypothalamus. Instantly, two things happen. First, your brain triggers that feeling we all know, thirst, that powerful urge to get a drink. And at the same time, it releases a hormone that tells your kidneys, hey, hold on to some water, don't let it all out. It's this perfectly tuned system, and it all happens without you even thinking about it. Okay, so if we're throwing out the 8-glass rule, what's the real number? What should we actually be aiming for? Well, modern science gives us a much more detailed answer. Let's take a look at the official guidelines. So according to the National Academy of Medicine, the real number for men is closer to 3.7 liters, or about 125 ounces. For women, it's 2.7 liters, or around 91 ounces. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds like a lot. But here is the absolute key. That's for total water, and that means water from every single source you can imagine. And this is where the story gets really, really interesting. We've all been trained to think that hydration has to come from a water bottle, but that could not be further from the truth. Get this, on average, a huge chunk of our daily hydration, we're talking 20 to 25%, comes directly from solid food. We are literally eating our water every single day. And just look at how much water is hiding in some of our favorite foods. A cucumber? It's pretty much solid water at 96%. Watermelon is right behind it at 92%. And it's not just fruits and veggies. Even something like a piece of cooked salmon is still 65% water. It all adds up. So what about all the other things we drink? Well, scientists actually have a way of measuring their hydrating power. It's called the Beverage Hydration Index, or BHI. All it does is measure how long a drink stays in your system and keeps you hydrated compared to just plain water. Water is the baseline at 1.0, so anything with a higher score is, believe it or not, better at hydrating you. And this chart is where a lot of jaws drop. Would you look at that? Milk is significantly more hydrating than water. It scores almost 1.6. The reason is pretty simple, actually. The natural nutrients in it, like sodium and protein, help your body hold on to that fluid for longer. And that old idea that coffee and tea dehydrate you? Totally busted. Their BHI is basically the same as water, which means they hydrate you just as well. Now, it's really important to say that for most healthy people and normal situations, your thirst is an amazing guide. But, and this is a big but, there are definitely specific times when you can't just rely on feeling thirsty. For example, as we get older, our sense of thirst can weaken. Little kids, when they're totally wrapped up in playing, might just ignore their body's signals. Athletes can lose sweat way faster than their thirst mechanism can keep up. And if you're at high altitude, the dry air makes you lose more fluid, but the altitude actually suppresses your thirst. In all these cases, you have to be proactive and drink on a schedule, not just when you feel like it. So what this all comes down to is finding the right balance. Because yeah, you can definitely have too little water,
But you can also have too much, and both of those extremes come with some very serious risks.
On one side, you've got dehydration. We all know it's bad, it can mess with your mood, your focus, your whole body. But on the other side, there's a danger most people don't even know about: hyponatremia, which is basically water intoxication. This happens when you drink so much plain water that you dilute the sodium in your blood to dangerous levels. That can cause your cells, including your brain cells, to swell up. It's a very real danger, especially for endurance athletes who might chug water for hours without replacing those vital electrolytes. So, after all of this, what's the takeaway? It seems pretty clear the goal isn't to just blindly follow some outdated rule. The real key to being properly hydrated is much more personal. It's about knowing the science, remembering all the water you get from food, and maybe most importantly, just learning to listen to the incredible, finely tuned signals that your own body is sending you every single day.